opponents. His earnings total $44,050. How much longer can he continue his winning streak? We'll find out in a moment as from Hollywood, it's everybody's game of strategy, knowledge, and fun. It's Tic Tac Dough. Here's our host, Rick Martindale.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob Hilton. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome back. As Bob Hilton said, we got a big winner on this show right now, and it's always rather exciting when you get somebody up around, the higher stratosphere, 40,000 plus. Let's meet them gentleman right here. Here he comes.
Our current champion has winnings which total in cash and prizes $44,050. He's a second lieutenant in the Air Force who has also been a bartender. Meet Doc Fass. And his opponent is a high school history teacher and football coach, and his interests include sports and music. Meet Don Cameron.
Good luck. Hey, Doc, we almost got to call him Big D, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Woo, look at those arms. Wow. High school teacher. Last time we found out that you're a high school teacher.
Right.
And you're really high on the youth of today.
Yeah, frankly, I'm pretty optimistic about the future. I'd be lying to say otherwise.
And you're also a football coach.
Guilty?
How'd the team do last year?
Oh, boy. Well, we were 4-5, actually, Wink. But by God, that was last year. Wait till next year. We're going to really do a number on it.
I see what you mean by faith in the future, Doc.
You got to have it.
Good luck.
Okay,
Don Cameron, everybody. Welcome back, Doc.
Thank you, Wink. Nice
Doc,
to
so
be
far as you know, ladies and gentlemen, has won $44,050 in cash and merchandise. And that's a lot of money.
Sure is, Mike. That's about what I'd make in 3-4 years in the Air Force.
At least. Got any plans for the money?
Yeah, I kind of like mixing drinks. I think I might possibly buy another bar.
Going to invest in liquid assets.
You bet.
Can't blame you for that. And on that, I'm going to say good night, everybody. No, let's play the game. Here we go. Doc Fass and Don Cameron. Here are the categories on the board. We're playing with these subjects, Doc and Don. I know you'll remember these. Games, male singers, female achievers, comic books, famous sites, the 30s, about words, movies, and secret category. That could be any category at all, and a correct answer in that category doubles the pot. Now, on the last show, the game was interrupted, and here is what the board looked like. Doc, you'll remember you had an X up there in the top right-hand corner of the board. But we discovered something else after the last show. Don's answer for the center box was mistakenly disqualified. The question asked for the last king to occupy the Palace of Versailles, and he answered Louis XVI, which was the right answer. So before we proceed, Don, you're going to be happy about this. We're going to put an O in the center box and add $300 to the pot. An O goes there, and we have a total of $500. Now let's move the categories all around. Let's shuffle the subjects on the board. And we're kind of back where we started, Doc. Select.
Wink, I'll try female achievers in top center.
Top center, female achievers. Here's the question for you, Doc. This queen ruled Great Britain for most of the 19th century. Her rule was so impressive that her name is now used to identify that era. Name her.
Queen Victoria.
Yes, that's right, Queen Victoria. So we put her next there. Another $200 in the pot, and let's shuffle. $700 the worth of the game now. Don, add to that if you can.
Wink, I'm going to go to block with female achievers.
Top left, female achievers to block. Doc. Don, listen. 3 artists named Isadora Duncan, Agnes DeMille, and Martha Graham were all instrumental in revolutionizing this art form during the first half of the 20th century. To block Doc, name the art form.
The dance.
Yes, the ballet, the choreography, the dance. That's the art form. Put them over there. Let's shuffle the categories around. 5 boxes left on the board. $900 in the pot, Doc.
Well, looks like I wasn't born then. Well, I'll have to try the 30s to block, Wink.
There he is, bragging again. Why you look at me, Doc, when you say that? The 30s for a block. In 1934, this gangster, who was called Public Enemy No. 1, was killed by FBI agent Melvin Purvis as he left a Chicago movie theater. To block Don, name him.
John Dillinger.
Yes, good for a block. So we put it next there. 4 boxes left on the board. There's $200 more in the pot. Let's shuffle. Don, you can select from these subjects.
I must take the 30s to block.
Were you born by that time, Don?
Yes.
All right. Don, to block Doc, here's your question.
In the middle of them, anyway. Give me a
All right. In 1936, after leading the rebel nationalist army to victory in Spain's Civil War, this man began a 39-year reign as that country's dictator. For a block, name him.
Generalissimo Francisco Franco.
Right. Francisco Franco, good for a block. So we're going to put it over there, another $200 in the pot. 3 boxes left now. Doc, the categories that show up here could decide the outcome of the game. We shuffle. 3 boxes. Subjects are secret category, famous sites, and games.
Well, Wink, I'll try the secret category to block once more.
All right, the secret category is military emblems. Answer this question correctly, and the pot will double to $2,600. Here is the question. The emblem of one branch of the American military depicts an eagle astride a globe and anchor, and the motto, Semper Fidelis. For a block, name this military branch.
I'll say the Marines.
Yes, that's right, the Marine Corps. And the pot doubles. I was going to say, you stood there and thought, were you really thinking about that, Doc?
I know a few Marines, too, and they'd really hate me for that.
The pot is now worth $2,600. We're down to 2 boxes. The categories that will appear here will determine if we have a tie. Shuffle. Movies and comic books. Don.
I'll try movies.
Movies. The subject? This is the question, Don. In this 1975 film, director Robert Altman tells the story of the musicians and performers who make their living in the capital of country music. For a tie game, name the movie.
Nashville.
Yes, we have a tie game. So we put an O there, another $200 in the pot for that correct answer. The pot, when we come back, will be worth $2,800. We'll show you 9 new categories, and the pot will continue to grow with every correct answer. First, watch these words. Minded, he's won one of these special gifts already because he defeated 5 opponents. Now he's defeated 2 more, 3 more for a total of 10, Doc. You're going to have another one of these. Tell him what it is, Bob.
It's a brand new car! Buick Century two-door coupe, the mid-size personal luxury car with a spacious, comfortable interior and classic exterior. The Century two-door coupe by Buick. And Polyglycode Sound Shield for the noisy underside of your car, not an undercoating. Polyglycode is a sound shield available at new car dealers only. Back to you, Wink.
Okay, Doc, you ready to go? Don, you all set?
Give us going.
All right, we have $2,800 in the pot. These are the subjects for this next game. We're going to be playing with Take a Letter, Numero Uno, Nursery Rhymes, George's, Travel, Potluck Pictures, Foreign Writers, Funny Ladies, and Anatomy. $2,800 so far. Doc, add to that.
Well, Wink, I'll start off in the middle with travel.
Travel in the center, worth $300 to the pot. As you know, those questions are a little harder, but we do give you a little extra time for your answer. Doc, every year, thousands of tourists are attracted to the ancient and modern wonders of Egypt. Now, I'll describe 2 of these sites, and you name them. First, name Egypt's capital city. Secondly, name the high dam, which was completed in 1970, that controls the floodwaters of the Nile River. Think about that. Our subject, the ancient and modern wonders of Egypt. Doc, name Egypt's capital city.
That's Cairo, Wink.
Yes. Now, to complete your answer and for that center box, name the high dam completed in 1970 that controls the floodwaters of the Nile.
The Aswan.
Yes, that's right. Good for the center box. Put an X there. $300 more to the pot. Let's shuffle. Moving the categories around, we move it back to Don Cameron. It's your hands, Don.
Let's try George's.
George's, bottom right corner of the board. Don, film director George Lucas made this nostalgic 1973 movie about high school teenagers. This movie starred Ron Howard, Richard Dreyfuss, and Cindy Williams. Name the movie.
American Graffiti.
Yes, that's right. We put an O there and shuffle again, another $200 in the pot. But Don knows a lot about American Graffiti, working with youngsters all the time. All right, Doc.
Wink, I'll try Funny Ladies in right center.
All right, here's your question, Doc. On television's Laugh-In, this funny lady played a nasal tone telephone operator named Ernestine. She's also starred in the films Nashville and The Late Show. Name her.
Lily Tomlin.
Yes. Another X goes up. Let's shuffle. $200 more in the pot. Game's now worth $3,500, and all of that's hard cash, Don.
Back to George to block.
Right, for a block. To block Doc. Answer this, Don. In January of 1980, this presidential candidate named George scored a stunning victory in the Iowa caucuses where he defeated frontrunner Ronald Reagan. For a block, name him.
Bush.
Yes, George Bush. Good for a block. Put an O there. Let's shuffle. Another $200 in the pot. Doc, back to you. We're up to $3,700.
Wink, I'll try Nursery Rhymes in the lower center.
Lower center for nursery rhymes. Doc, this nursery rhyme character was required to be nimble, quick, and able to leap a candlestick. Name him.
That was Jack.
Yes, that's right. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Put an X there. Let's shuffle again with 4 boxes left on the board and $3,900 resting on the game.
Anatomy, where else? Must block.
Right, for a block, answer this correctly on anatomy. Don, this delicate column helps support the human body. It's composed of ligaments and 33 bones called vertebrae. For a block, name it.
The spine.
Yes, that's right, the spine or spinal column. Good for a block. Put an O there. 3 boxes left. Now, the categories that are going to show up, Doc, might decide who wins and who loses. Let's shuffle, please. $4,100 in the game now, Doc.
Well, I think I'll try George's, Wink.
All right, first time I think for you in that category. Doc, George is the subject. Here's the question. According to legend, St. George used a sword to slay this mythical beast and was later put to death because of his Christian beliefs. Name this mythical beast.
The dragon.
Yes, we have our own right here. We know him well. All right, we put an X there. The moment of truth getting closer and closer, down to 2 boxes. Anything could happen. The categories that will appear in them will determine what happens. Let's shuffle. Travel and anatomy. $4,300 resting on this game. And Don, your turn to pick.
Back to the body. Anatomy to block.
To the body, all right. Anatomy. Started looking up there for body. There it is. Anatomy. Don, for a block, answer this. An adult human has 4 basic types of teeth. The incisors are one type. For a block, name one of the others.
Molars.
The others are canines, bicuspids, and molars. You're right, for a block. So, we put an O there. In the pot now, $4,500. Doc, we're going to shuffle, and if you answer the question correctly and the subject that appears in that final box, we'll have the second tie. The subject is nursery rhymes for a tie game, Doc. Here's the question on that subject. According to one popular rhyme, this odd pumpkin eater kept his wife in a pumpkin shell. For a tie, name him.
Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater.
You got it. Right, for a tie game. Woo. Second tie game. So, we're going to continue now. Doc, Don, hey, congratulations. What a super game that was. Now we have $4,700 in the pot after we take a break to pay a few bills because we give away a lot of money. Somebody's going to win it, and it may happen in the next game. Right after we take this commercial break. We'll be right back. Just say somebody. Can you do hello to that person right quick?
Right, I'd just like to say hello to all the guys in 453rd and my squadron commander, Colonel Carver, Rich Willing, Scotty Freeman, and Kelly Freeman.
You sure you got everybody in, Doc?
Well, I probably left a few out, and they'll tell me about it when I get back.
Okay, let's take a look at the board. These are the subjects for this game. Doc and Don, we're playing with second jobs, Civil War, TV roles, spelling, Latin America, oddities, symbols, famous blondes, and world literature. We're playing for $4,700, and it gets bigger with every correct answer, Doc. Go.
Wink, I think I'll try TV roles in the upper right-hand corner.
Here's your question, Doc. This popular television series stars actor Jack Klugman as a character named Quincy. Specifically, what is Quincy's profession?
He's a coroner.
Is that acceptable?
Yes, Wink, it is.
Yes, a coroner or medical examiner. Correct. Coroner on the show. I have medical examiner. Okay, we put an X there. Let's move the categories around. $4,900 in the pot. Don, you can put it over $5,000 with the correct answer. What subject would you like?
I love this one in the center.
Civil War, in other words, huh? All right, answer this. It'll be worth $300 to the pot, Don.
If I don't, I'll have to leave town. I teach a course in it.
It's going to be embarrassing, Don. You put yourself on the spot. Now, listen carefully. I'll give you 2 famous Civil War quotes, and you tell me the person who said each of them. Ready? 1, these dead shall not have died in vain. 2, war is hell. Here's your extra time to think, Don. Don, 2 famous Civil War quotes. Tell me the person who said each. First, these dead shall not have died in vain.
Abraham Lincoln.
Right, from the Gettysburg Address. Who said war is hell?
General William Tecumseh Sherman.
Yes, that's right. Lincoln and Sherman. Put an O in the center box. $300 to the pot. Let's shuffle the categories. We are now playing for $5,200 in cash. Doc.
Well, I think I'll try TV roles once again, Wink, in the center right.
Again, in the category TV roles, in the 50s, this popular comedian played the role of nightclub entertainer Danny Williams in the television series Make Room for Daddy. Name him.
Danny Thomas.
Yes, right. Danny Thomas, good for an X. Let's shuffle. Another $200 added to the pot as we move the categories around. And Don, it's your turn again.
Well, I must block the good doctor with world literature.
Block him. Now remember, the pot at this point is worth $5,400, Don. Here's the question to block Doc. In 1928, D.H. Lawrence's novel was banned in the United States and England until 1960 because of its frank approach to language and sex. It tells the story of a famous lady and her lover. For a block, name her.
Lady Chatterley.
Yes, that's right. Good for a block, Don, as we put an O there. And another $200 in the pot. Pot is now worth $5,600. We shuffle. Select, Doc.
Well, looks like I'll have to try Latin America to block, Wink.
Yeah, diagonal block is what you need. A block of Don. Answer this, Doc, and you've got it. The world's longest mountain chain stretches over 4,500 miles down the west coast of South America. For a block, name these mountains.
The Andes.
Yes, that's right. Another $200 in the pot makes our pot now worth $5,800, and 4 boxes are left. Let's see what subjects appear in those boxes for you to pick from, Don.
Civil War.
Civil War again to block Doc, Don. Here's your question. This famous Confederate general earned the nickname Stonewall after his troops formed an impenetrable line of defense at the First Battle of Manassas. Name him for a block.
Thomas Jonathan Jackson.
Yes, that's right. Stonewall Jackson. So we add another $200 to the pot. The pot is now worth $6,000. We shuffle. We move the categories around as we put an O there. World literature, TV roles, and oddities. Doc, select.
Well, I'm not sure what it's about, Wink, but I'll try oddities.
Yeah, that could be just most anything. Oddities to block Don. Doc, answer this. According to legend, this emperor played a fiddle while the city of Rome burned. But in fact, he was not in Rome at the time, and the fiddle had not yet been invented. For a block, name this legendary emperor.
Nero.
Yes, fiddle while Rome burned. Another $200 added to the pot. Our game is now worth $6,200. I remind you, that's not Monopoly money, that's real cash. So we put an X there in oddities. We have 2 boxes left on the board. Let's shuffle. Second jobs and spelling, Don.
Wink, I'll try second jobs.
Second jobs, the subject. This is the question. Answer this correctly, Don, and we'll have our 3rd tie game. After a long and illustrious career in films like To Catch a Thief and North by Northwest, this debonair leading man went on to become a board member of Fabergé Cosmetics Company. For the 3rd tie between you and Doc, name him.
Cary Grant.
Right, we have another tie game. And I also will point out that the pot is now worth $6,400. $6,400. We're going to show you now 9 new categories, and the pot will continue to grow from $6,400. Doc and Don, take a look at the board. These are the subjects, everybody. Fads and follies, foods, baseball, presidents, famous couples, the South, biographies, television stars, and secret category. Remember, that could be any category at all, and a correct answer would automatically double the pot. There are the subjects in the pot. Currently, $6,400. Doc, we're off and running again.
Well, Wink, let's try the secret category in the bottom right to start off.
Ah, good adventuresome gentlemen. Doc, the secret category is Proverbs. Proverbs. Answer this question correctly, and the pot will be worth $12,800. Here's the question. According to a famous Chinese proverb, what is worth more than 10,000 words?
That's a picture.
Yes, that's right. Put it up there. An X in the secret category makes the pot now worth $12,800. Let's shuffle. And Don, it'll be your turn to pick.
Secret category.
Oh, Don, the secret category is the press. Answer this question correctly, and the pot will be worth $25,600 in cash. Practically all the news that this country releases to the rest of the world comes through their official news agency, TASS. Name the country.
The Soviet Union.
Yes, that's right. Russia or the Soviet Union. Put an O there. The pot is now worth $25,600. $25,600 in cash. 1X, 1-0 on the board, and we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
.com. Feel like you can do anything too. Try new Move Free Advanced Triple Strength Plus MSM and Vitamin D today. It works.
A pot of $25,600 in cash and growing with every correct answer. See who wins it. Could happen on the next show. I'm Wink Martindale for Tic Tac Dough. We'll see you next time.